Hey everybody, today is Q&A number 8 for the month of August. What I'm going to do next month for Q&A 9 for the month of September, I will try a live stream per recommendation and some insight from Randall over at Gruntproof. Thank you, brother. I'm going to give that a shot next month. So, again, as always, keep an eye out for the community tab posts on my channel for the next Q&A to come up, which will be, again, the first working day of the month, and then the announcement and the scheduled time for when the live stream will come out for when I do Q&A number 9. Something new I'm going to try with that, so with all this. So thanks again, everyone, for tuning in and for having such good questions. This has been going really well, so I appreciate everyone's help and participation and everything with it. So yeah, Q&A 8, as I said before, usually the first working day of the month. Community tab, a post will come up. It may show up on posts in your landing page, YouTube home landing page as well, in the thread section for different posts from channels that you subscribe to. So it should show up there, but it'll show up again at the beginning of the month on my channel as well, so just kind of keep an eye out for it. To those of you that are new, thank you for coming and checking my channel out and subscribing and appreciating what I'm doing. So I kind of do a little bit of everything. So no pigeonholing here. So thanks again, and let's just get into it with Q&A number 8. I will just go in order from first question, oldest question, to the most recent. So from Fatty Westside, thanks bud, appreciate you. What is the SHTF scenario you think will happen? I mean, honestly, it could be a number of things. That's why you prepare for more than just one thing at the same time too, right? Most plausible, either economic collapse. We're already seeing social collapse and things like that, but economic collapse for the country, another Great Depression, or worse than that, or another World War. I think those are the two most plausible things I think that are probably going to happen in our lifetime here. Not really much else I could say about that. You know, that's just what I think, I guess. You know, so plan and prepare for the worst and hope for the best, right? So yeah, we'll move on to the next question. Hopefully that answered it. Thank you. Let's see here. Sorry, just getting through. Another question from you. If money were no object, what weapon would you get and why the FAL? I love my FAL. I am an FAL fanboy. Other than that, if there were no strings attached, no worrying about, you know, stupid licensing and paperwork, you know, repeal the NFA, repeal the GCA, 86 Act, all that shit, get rid of it all. It was all supposed to be temporary anyway, so get rid of it. Money were no object, what would I want? Man, maybe an MG3. I do like PKM too, but I like the MG3, especially because the MG3 is a 7.62x51 or 308 variant of an MG42. I would really like one of those. It's an awesome belt-fed weapon system. I wouldn't mind a Carl Gustav either. Basically a shoulder-file recoilless rifle type system. Javelins are cool too. Man, I don't know. Technical? Other Boomy toys. You know? It's hard. It's hard choice. There's a couple things I would want if money weren't an option. So, yeah. Hopefully that answers that question too. Apart from my FAL. More magazines for my FAL. Because good metal metric mags, hard to find. And on that note with the FAL, all of those assholes out there that are hiking up prices on FAL magazines, surplus mags and things like that, you are scumbags. You're scumbags. Totally unscrupulous. There's no reason that a magazine should be more than $50 for an FAL. They shouldn't even be that. Like $20. Absolutely ridiculous, the prices I'm seeing. And then auto bidding bots on places like Gunbroker and shit, where you try and you find some magazines and you try and bid on it, and then there's these bidding bots that auto bid above you and hike the price to $200 a fucking magazine. Assholes. We need new production metal FAL magazines on the market, because KCS stopped theirs, DSA stopped theirs, for the most part. Duramag, guys, huge market here. Get on it. Or Palmetto State, make some FAL mags. Like, seriously, we need them. Yeah. Enough of that rant. Let's see. George Washington simply says, oh, per the meme, someone, go get the friggin' lieutenant. Yep, they like to get us lost, right? Next question. Twin Arrows Survival 2.0. Hope you're doing well, brother. Stay dry. Hopefully you get your house built soon. Yeah, keep at it, brother. His question. What boots are you running in a SHTF patrol? Depends the time of the year for me. Matters a lot more than a lot of you guys. Spring, summer, fall, usually I really like Merrell boots. More of a hiking boot, but they were used overseas much like the Solomons were and stuff. Not a big fan of what Merrell is doing as a company right now, going woke and shit, but I like Merrell's. Or like Tactical Research, which is owned by Belleville. Their Kyber, K-H-Y-B-E-R, their Kyber boot. Fantastic boot. Super comfortable. In the winter, it depends if I'm going real off trail in deep snow or not. If that is the case with deep snow and stuff, it's going to be the U.S. made line of Danner boots. They're, I believe it's the Trophy boot, or I think the other one's called the Canadian maybe. They're for deep snow. Really, like 600 gram insulation, leather, brown leather boot, like super upbuilt, well made the U.S. line boot. Because Danner has two different ones. You got the overseas ones that are cheap and crappy, and then the U.S. made ones that are solid. If not having to go off trail into deep snow as much and stuff, the Kyber boots are fine. Just wear wool socks, because they do have drainage, but you know they're good to go. The wool is still king up here in the winter, so. But those are the boots that I would run, that I have and that I run. Fantastic stuff. Let's see. Hopefully that answered your question. Thanks. Next one. Tom Bonner. Bonner Tom 032. Do you have a favorite zombie film? What is it and why? That's a good question. I do love my horror films and zombie films and stuff as much as other types of films. That's a tough one, man. Maybe go old school, Night of the Living Dead, because I really like that one. Or the Dawn of the Dead remake was really good. Yeah, probably one of those two. There's a lot of good zombie films out there, and there's a lot of really bad zombie films out there too. Don't get me wrong, I love like D movies and campy films like Trauma and stuff too. I love all that stuff, but when it comes to that, yeah, probably one of those. The OG Night of the Living Dead, or maybe, yeah, Dawn of the Dead remake, or the original, because those were good too. Classics, and fairly, I guess, practical for what you would think a zombie would be, you know. Great movies, though. Big movie guy, so it's a good question, man. Thank you. Hopefully that answered it. It's good stuff. Next one. One round left. What's more important to you, cardio or strength training? Personally, you prefer cardio, but you want to hear my thoughts. Much love, brother. Always coming in with good clutch questions. I appreciate you. A mix of both. Endurance is the most important thing. just purely from experience, endurance is the most important thing. You have to have strength and cardio in a blended degree. You have to have endurance. That is the most important thing, especially for practical training, work application with military security contracting, all that stuff. As much as just hiking and doing long backcountry trips and all that, apart from proper training and planning and things like that for exigent situations and emergencies and stuff, like endurance matters. That's what you need to build up on. So there's things you can do with cardio and strength for building endurance and maintaining a high level of endurance. That's the biggest thing, because you know too, man. It's when you're out in the suck and you've got to worry about other people and you've got yourself to worry about and all your kit and everything. It's not easy, and you need to be able to suck it up and work through it with everything you've got. So, and it's no different for long range hiking and anything else. So probably a good exercise to partake on for a lot of people is doing that, building your endurance. With cardio, I like to do interval sprints more so than like long distance running. I hate distance running. I really do. I always get a stitch in my side no matter what. It just never fails. After I hit like that 1.5 mile mark, it just sucks. I like to do interval sprints, especially with incline gradients and stuff, much like what Randall and Grunt Proof has done a video on before. I kind of do that, but I do more gradual stuff. Start with 25 meter stuff, and then 50 meter sprints, 100 meter, 200 meter, and then up to 400 meter. 400 meter movements are pretty adequate as far as a full-on sprint. And I ran that track and field way back in the day, and I've always kind of done that kind of thing. Because that's a good distance to be able to cross from windbreak across farm field to another windbreak or whatever, that kind of thing. Or movements dynamically within an urban environment. It applies in a lot of ways. Other than that, rucking and hiking and all that stuff, like getting your endurance built up, being able to just be able to truck through that and go. Yeah, that's the most important thing to me, is endurance. Hopefully that answered your question. Thanks again for another great question, man. Next one, ACR Protect. Cheers, brother. Have a good beer for me. Let's see. Your question, if money was no object, where would I live and why? As the first part of your question. Not even so much like money being an object, just territorial things. Because, like, I would love to live, like, in Greenland or Norway, somewhere similar. So I guess you could probably put Alaska in there too. Very similar in a lot of ways like that. But, like, I like winter. I like the cold. It's easier to warm up than it is to cool down. And there's less people to have to worry about. You're a little bit more sustainable for yourself based on just living off the natural environment and things like that. I love my state too. I like living here. I don't intend on moving anywhere else unless out of necessity or something I have to somewhere better. But I like it here. But those are some ideal places I at least want to travel to and spend some time in. I like them. It's just me, I guess. Let's see. Next question, or the next part of your question. If you could own only one of these, what would it be? Tank, helicopter, submarine, fighter jet, or warship? Ooh. Probably either a tank or a warship, honestly. Tanks are cool. Still much more vulnerable and fallible than even a warship. Probably a warship. It's funny because there was a decommissioned retired Coast Guard cutter, Steel Hull Coast Guard cutter, that was one of their retrofitted dive cutters that was for sale over in Washington State on the West Coast for something ridiculous like $160,000. But you got to think about it, like the fuel to fill the fuel tanks up on that ship alone would probably be $1 million. insanely expensive to maintain and man one of those things, because that's like a 40-man cruise ship. You could probably get away with less than that, but yeah. But that would be really cool, because that's a boat big enough that you can live on comfortably. That would be cool. That's a hard pick for me, but either a tanker or a warship when it comes down to it. It's a really interesting question, though. I love battleships. It's kind of sad that they're not a thing anymore. I mean, you could do a modernized battleship. That would be awesome to see what that would look like. That would be really cool. Yeah. Thanks for the questions, man. Appreciate you. Good questions. Get my brain going a little bit. Last question. 2 Alpha Solutions. Jared, brother, hope you're doing well, man. Don't overwork yourself. You know what I'm talking about. No, it's good stuff. Go check out 2 Alpha Solutions, guys. I just did a new business logo for his company and stuff. If for those that didn't know, I do business logo commissions and stuff. If you want a business logo or something done, and I do patch designs, all kinds of stuff. His question: when are you going to come to Virginia and do some training? Hopefully soon, man. Just like what I said to Randall, you know, it's time and finances, you know, are the big thing to get that facilitated or worked up so that I can get enough time set aside with the good amount of funding. Because I would drive. You know, flying with guns is a pain in the ass. So I would drive. You're not as far as Randall would be, but it'd still be a pretty good trip, which I love. I love road trips. But yeah, it's just finding the time and having the money for it. So little tight for me right now, but we'll get it figured out. Would love to come out and throw some lead down range with you, brother. That would be good stuff. So sometime soon, hopefully. Same goes for my friends over in Europe I need to go visit. Because I had a trip planned and then all that crap happened a couple of years ago. So I had to get it canceled, which really sucked because I had most of my stuff booked up already and then planned out with staying with friends and stuff like that, traveling around Europe. So that really sucked, but we'll get there someday. So, all right, but that rounds it up for the questions for Q&A number 8 for the month of August. Thank you, everyone, for the great questions. Thank you, everyone, for watching and tuning in. Next month, I will be trying to do the Q&A number 9 as a live stream so that I can interact with the chat and things like that and answer your questions live. I'm going to try that out. Try and get this figured out. So, thought about trying to get it done for this month, but I just don't really have the time, unfortunately. So, because if I'm going to do it, it's probably going to be like an hour live stream kind of thing. So, yeah, we'll get that figured out for next month. But thanks again for everyone for tuning in and all the great questions. And keep an eye out for the next posting at the beginning of next month for Q&A number 9, and then the notification for the live stream for that. I'm going to get it worked out. So, metal up.